Good morning. We're going to be reading for Bible this week, Daniel in the Lion's Den, and we'll be reading it this week from March 30th to April 3rd. And our memory verse is, I trust in God, so why should I be afraid? Psalm 56:11. I trust in God, so why should I be afraid? Psalm 56, verse 11. Daniel in the Lion's Den. Daniel had lived in Babylon for nearly 70 years. Although he was getting to be older, Daniel was still a wise and hard worker. God had helped him make many good choices. Now there is a new king. King Darius trusted Daniel and continued to use Daniel as his special helper. King Darius planned to put Daniel in charge of many projects in his kingdom. But some who worked for King Darius did not like Daniel because King Darius had made Daniel his most special helper. These men wanted to get rid of Daniel. These jealous men just didn't know how to get rid of Daniel because he never did anything wrong. One day, these jealous men thought of a plan. They knew Daniel prayed to God every day. Let's trick King Darius into making a law that will hurt Daniel, they said. These men rushed to King Darius and told him that it would be a good idea if everybody prayed to him and to no other god for 30 days. Anyone who disobeyed that law should be thrown into the lion's den. I like that law, King Darius said. So he made that a new law. For 30 days, everyone must pray only to him. The jealous men knew that Daniel prayed to God every day. They also knew that Daniel prayed by an open window every day too. Now that there was a new law, what would Daniel do? Would he still do the right thing and pray to God? Or would he choose to pray to King Darius? When Daniel heard about the king's new law, he kept praying to God. Early the next morning, Daniel opened his window and prayed to God, just like he did every day. At noon and again in the evening, Daniel opened his window and prayed to God, just like he did every day. The jealous men watched Daniel all day and then rushed back to the king to tell King Darius that Daniel had been disobeying the new law. Then the king learned that these men had tricked him. The king was very sad and very upset that he had been tricked into making this new law. The king spent all day trying to think of a way to save Daniel. But King Darius knew that once a law had been written, even he could not change it. Near the end of the day, the king sadly told his soldiers to arrest Daniel and bring him to the lion's den. Daniel, I have always been able to trust you. I wish there was something I could do to save you, the king explained. But there isn't. May the God you worship rescue you. The soldiers threw Daniel into the lion's den. Then they covered the opening of the den with a big stone, and the king went back to his palace. But Daniel wasn't alone in the lion's den. God sent an angel to shut the lions' mouths. Daniel stayed in the lion's den all night long, and all night long the angel kept Daniel safe from the lions. I'm sure that even in the lion's den, Daniel prayed and thanked God for sending the angel to take care of him. Early the next morning, King Darius hurried with some of his soldiers to the lion's den. King Darius wanted to know what had happened to Daniel. The king had his soldiers remove the large stone as quickly as they could. Daniel! Daniel! The king yelled into the lion's den. Was your God able to save you? From down in the lion's den, Daniel answered. I trusted my God. He sent an angel to shut the lions' mouths so that they wouldn't hurt me. King Darius was so happy to hear Daniel's voice. He told his soldiers to pull Daniel out of the lion's den immediately. The lions hadn't even scratched Daniel's clothes. King Darius sent out a letter to everyone in his kingdom. "Now, I know that Daniel's God is the one true God," King Darius wrote. "His God is the only mighty and living God. Daniel's God saved him from the powerful lions. Everyone should worship the true God." Daniel trusted God to take care of him, and God sent an angel to shut the lions' mouths. We can choose to trust God too. In the Bible we read, "I trust in God, so why should I be afraid?" Psalm 56:11. You can always trust God to take care of you, all during the day, all during the night, and even when something scary might happen. When we choose to trust God, we don't need to be afraid.